So we'll call the meeting to order, and pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, this meeting will be conducted via remote means. Members of the public who wish to access the meeting may do so in the following manner. See the West Boylston Town website and click on the Zoom instructions contained within the Finance Committee agenda. No in-person attendance of members or the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. Okay, so that's great. Pete, thanks for the minutes from, I believe it was October 16th. And I just wanted to see if everybody had had a chance to review those minutes. And if somebody, if everybody's comfortable with them, we'll certainly entertain a motion.
Well, do we want to take them individually, or can we just vote them together?
Did we not vote the
September
other
11th
ones?
as well?
We didn't
No,
vote September
we voted
11th.
the others. It's
Yeah.
just the 16th. They're very
Okay.
brief. It was the
So
before-
moved.
Second.
Okay, great. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Or actually, I guess I have to do a roll call, don't I?
Yes.
Sorry about that. So, okay, Mary Foley.
Aye.
Great. Clean Archibald.
Aye.
Ray McCall.
Aye.
And Pete Murphy.
Aye.
Chris Berglund, aye. So that's great. Unanimous. Thank you all very much for that. And then we'll see if I can scroll down. I'm trying to work amongst the screens here. So this is not the most, all right, let me find my budget or my agenda rather. Okay. The next order of business, town meeting. So I don't think there was a whole lot. I mean, I don't know if anybody had anything that they wanted to put forth about takeaways from town meeting. I don't want to get too detailed, but I think everything went pretty well. I guess next time we'll have to look a little closer at personnel bylaws, but that seemed to be the big one. Yeah, it was. At least it got addressed, which was good. But anybody, go ahead.
Yeah, the comment made by a resident about the school upholstery of the chairs. Just as a future note, I think as we're doing the capital plan, we should take a look at that ADA plan and make sure that's integrated. I just thought it was an interesting point that he raised. It wouldn't have changed the way that I would have approached it when we were talking about it, but I did have a question, I guess, sort of on the protocol. Like they had our name tags and everything. We're all sitting up at the front table.
Yep.
But nobody spoke other than you, Chris, and I'm totally fine with that. But I just wondered, like, is that a normal thing that they have the whole finance committee up front? And is that, like, why is that?
Oh, traditionally, they've always had the finance committee up in front. I mean, and I guess, and Cleta, that's a great point, because I thought about that afterwards as well, because we have historically, we've tried some different iterations of the people, the finance committee, like when it comes to the motions and making recommendations on the motions, like the select board does. They seem to rotate through and have different, so I think we tried that a couple of times. It got, I'm not going to say confusing, but it just, I'm just not sure that it was worth our while. I'm certainly willing to do that if that would be more, I guess, engaging for you guys. I know when Ray comes back to or considers, or anyone who considers, moving to over the chair. I mean, I'm more than happy to step aside and let that go. But again, whatever we can do, as a member of the finance committee too, there are times, I don't think we didn't do it this time, where we will get up, not necessarily as a member of the finance committee, but to get up and go to the microphone to speak to an article if we have our own opinion that may or may not differ from what the finance committee, or a question on the article, whatever might happen. So I mean, we can certainly do that, and I don't know, I mean, sometimes that adds some traction to the question or the comment on the article. Sometimes it detracts from it, because all of a sudden then you get people coming up and teeing
Yeah.
off on the finance committee. So I mean,
I guess
it's
that was, yeah, so if we're, because if we're at the table with our name tag and we make a comment, it would be, I think, perceived as a finance committee comment. And so then how do you handle it if you have a comment that, we haven't discussed before, and you're not saying it on behalf of the committee, but you have a question or a comment just as yourself?
yeah. So then you go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Then you go up to the microphone and you
Okay.
give your name and address and say this is on your own behalf.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So that's, not to discourage that at all, because I think we all want to make sure, and we've done that in the past, and there have been occasions. I think I know, Ray, I think you've gotten up and spoken.
Yeah, you can't
on-
shut.
No, on a
But,
couple of occasions
Fiona,
there may have been. Go ahead.
on your first comment, it wasn't clear at town meeting, but they're removing seats
Yes.
in order to comply with the ADA requirements. The other ADA requirement they can't comply with is the slope on the ramp
Mhm.
in the auditorium. And I mean, that it's just a very, I don't know what you do about that. You talk about rebuilding the entire auditorium in that case. So, but they didn't make that
Yeah.
clear at town meeting, and I don't think the town understood that we are meeting at least part of the ADA compliant problems.
Well, I'm not sure the resident that raised the issue wanted to hear the answer, but
Yeah.
we had that very discussion with the town administrator when we were looking at this, and there were enough chairs that were in poor condition that it was going to equate to about the amount of space they needed for the ADA spots.
Yeah, I remember that. I agree. I guess maybe we should have raised that, or maybe it was, not important to
No.
raise it.
No,
I think
no, it
just
was
the
important.
bigger question of not even necessarily the schools, but for the whole town in general, that there's this ADA plan. And how do we integrate that with the capital planning? Or do we integrate it, or do we rely on the department leads who are looking at it to tell us what they want, for capital?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I think that leads right into our next, so maybe we'll take that in conjunction with the next item on the agenda, which is, gathering data for the capital spreadsheet, because I think that should be one of the questions that we approach our respective department heads with. Is, are you aware of the ADA plan? I mean, all 558 pages. Have you seen it, Clint? Because I can
haven't.
send it. I'll send you a copy then. Is
Okay.
everybody else?
Do you
Yeah.
have it posted to the shared drive somewhere?
I think I do.
That would be better.
So,
Posting it would be
Yeah.
better.
Let
Yeah.
me.
500,
me-
how many pages? 500
It's
pages?
500. I think it's like 500 pages or something like that. Yeah, it's very detailed. I mean, it's like a page for each item, so it's it's huge, absolutely huge. But yeah, let me get it. I don't have it at my fingertips right now. I'm not sure where I have it, but what I'll do is I'll put it in tonight's meeting folder, if that's okay, instead of creating
Chris,
another one.
If I would request you put it in a separate folder, because I think we're going to be referring to it a whole bunch in the
Okay.
future. And Clint, I gotta say, I agree with your comment. And at the same time, I'm not quite sure what happens next. It's such an extensive, all-consuming plan with
Mhm.
huge dollar figures associated with it. I know the Board of Selectmen has been attentive to try to figure out what's needed, truly needed, just because the report says, something is a high, medium, or low level requirement, that each one of them has to be gone through to see exactly how needed they are. But the ones that are 6-figure plus, that's really a town plan issue that we don't have. And I'm not sure, when we're taking a look at the capital spreadsheet, how do we address some of these things? And I will admit, I haven't actually looked at the plan other than knowing the general content. So if we're going to try to integrate that into the capital plan, it's somebody's going to be doing a lot of digging, because that's definitely not in there right now.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna, I think as a committee, we can certainly address that at a future meeting as to how we might go about doing that. But it's not contemplated. I'm not contemplating it in this iteration of trying to update our capital spreadsheets. I think the question should be asked, and if there are department heads that have answers, then yes, then let's integrate them. But I'm not going to expect them to at this time, because I'm sure they've done very little as far as pricing out what that type of a solution might cost. But along those lines, the other piece is, as we go through this, we do want to reach out to Jennifer and make sure that we include our new facilities person
Mhm.
in those meetings, if he's available. I mean, I think that's Pete, you and I had the benefit of him at the library, and now I'm just trying to.
Yeah, he has enough experience. I think that including him we try to make that happen if we can.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I met him for the first time on Friday. Seems like a nice
Okay.
guy. Seems pretty intelligent. So
Yeah, and again, we just have him part-time, so that's part of that. That's why it's really important that we include Jennifer in the whole idea, just to make sure that she's on board with him allocating his time to those meetings. But I think it would be definitely advisable. I did want to make sure that everybody recalls what their assignments were as well. And I know Jason's not on this call, but I'll try to reach out to him, or if anybody sees him, because I think he's the one that's most impacted, because I know that for those, maybe not everybody knows, but Kevin Duffy has left the DPW. There's no longer the director, and Butch Jackson is back on an interim basis. He had been an employee, retired. I think he went to another town or something, I think, at one point, and then or was an interim somewhere else after he retired, and now he's back here as interim. So I think that's going to be another struggle, another seasonal struggle for accurate information out of DPW, because this is another leader that will hopefully be able to get his arms around some of the projects that Kevin was working on as well. Because I know it's not only the hard assets that we're after, as we're also kind of going after the soft assets too, which are like the plans that may impact the town's operations. I mean, I know that there's a stormwater thing that's going on that obviously impacts budget and all that sort of stuff. May or may not be a capital item, but those are the type of, if there's a plan involved that we have to pay for to put out, that's going to be something that we're going to want to get our arms around, at least get on that spreadsheet. And is it something that has to be renewed? Is it something that has to be updated? Frequency and costs involved with that. So just keep your eyes and ears peeled for that sort of stuff. Anything else town meeting wise or that I'm missing on the spreadsheet? I think everybody's got a copy of the most recent one. You can just kind of take your department spreadsheet and go off and as far as getting together with the respective department heads, I think that's going to be catch as catch can, because I know we're getting into the holiday season for everybody too, and you've got your schedules, they have theirs, but whatever can be done to nail them down.
So Chris, do we have final capital requests for all departments?
Are you getting the
That
interference?
sounds not much you can do in there.
Somebody's
Again, you can select your
talking?
theme pack and then you can go and have it looking much nicer. Display type.
Yeah.
Again, automatic's good. But sometimes automatic glitches out when you load up different films on different applications and can swap and change accordingly, which also can then obviously.
Are we getting Zoom bombed again? Only politely.
Are we
Yes.
getting is this a bomb thing again?
Yeah,
Oh
Okay.
my God.
So
When
selected
I
that
mute,
1080p.
it doesn't go away.
I can't mute it and I can't see him either. I don't see anybody on here unless it's coming from the town. Because the town is not muted. Can you guys still hear it or are we good?
I don't hear it.
I am
Text
hearing it,
displays
so
what the
it's
issues are,
maybe it's
or
me.
not
I
the
don't know.
issues, what
oh,
the
I hear it.
are and what you're clicking over. If, for instance, you need it bigger and bolder, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I can hear it now.
If you need more volume, turn it up. Medium is perfectly fine for me.
I think this is coming from the town hall. I'm thinking.
Can you mute it?
Anytime you're moving
Can
around
you
a
dump
meeting.
them?
I can't because they're apparently hosting the meeting, which is unfortunate.
Well, there's somebody there moving back and forth. Maybe they can do something.
If they could hear us, I don't think they're listening to us. That's the problem.
You
Anyways,
don't have host. You don't have host rights, Chris?
I didn't host this one. They try to restrict that and
I
let the
just
town do it
muted.
I heard
because
they
They must
muted
have
okay.
now.
he muted, so I think we're good. Okay, good. All right.
Because if you're
Try
ever gonna
try
use an
muting
application
yourselves and
on
let's
here,
see if
you don't really want
whose
to
it
sign
is.
up via Roku.
Oh, it's still coming through. It might be you, Pete, because it happened when you came off mute. Do you have a video going in the background?
Externally
I don't
So via
think
the
I
Netflix
do, but
website, or via the Disney Plus website, and then log
I don't
into your
see it.
Netflix and things like that on your Roku device. And
I
it
can
makes
go
it
out
easy
and
to
come
use it on
back, I
lower
guess.
devices at the same time.
maybe it is me.
Apple AirPlay.
Yeah, I think it actually was. I've run into a couple of cases where just random glitch, it turns on YouTube and
Yeah.
a YouTube video just comes up in the middle of the evening.
At least it was about Apple and not something else.
I
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
was
Yeah,
really
we-
thinking about you and Jason when that came on, because you've got young ones at home.
Well,
No,
they weren't anywhere near it, but yeah, at
good.
least not for
Oh
me.
my God. So you weren't worried about how that might impress upon me, Ray? Come on, jeez.
Chris, you're a lost
Yeah.
cause. I
Oh my
I don't think
goodness,
anything can be done there.
jeez.
No.
That was. Anyways, all right. Let's see if we can get Pete back.
Like Jen's going back and forth in front of the camera there.
Yeah, I can see her going back. Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to get her 10,000 steps in, I think, back and forth.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's exactly.
So I have town hall and municipal buildings. So my
It was me.
update is that I'm working with Jen to schedule time for us to meet about it.
Okay, all right, good, yeah. And then Ray, you and I can get together with our friend at the school. I'll call Rich.
Yeah, Chris, you saw Clena's request to join that?
Oh, I didn't know.
I thought
Did
it
you
would just be good learning for me. But
Sure.
if the schedules work, we don't need to schedule it around me, but if you guys pick the time you're meeting and let me know if I'm able to make it, I'll join you.
When did you send me an email on that? Was that?
I emailed you and Ray, yeah. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to do that with the open meeting law, but it
No,
was
that's fine. No, just
one
as long as
question.
we don't, you can
Okay.
turn, you're allowed to
Okay,
do
good.
that. No, that's fine. All right, I must have read by it or I spaced it. Yeah, that's fine. I'll
Nice.
definitely I'll include you then when we get a date from Rich or a couple of dates from Rich. That'd be good.
Okay.
Because I think it's gonna depend on him and what's his Christy, is she she's
The new
the new
finance
business.
admin?
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be depending upon what they're, and I'm sure that Jim Pedoni is going to want to be involved as well.
Is he still chairing the capital subcommittee?
I believe so. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, and
So-
maybe Jason too.
Do
Right.
they have the sheet that we're requesting them to fill out? The
They,
master sheet?
I'm going to give that to Rich or to probably to Christy. She does not have that, I don't believe. And
But
we'll
the
give
fire
that-
chief does.
He should, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
'Cause then,
Yep.
Yeah, make sure,
Oh.
but I mean, again, bring it with you or send it in advance if you want to, just to make for better dialogue. And that way, and leave some empty rows, because I'm sure he'll have plenty to fill in.
So Chris,
And
no, go ahead, Mary, sorry.
can you send that to me again? Because my computer crashed and I'm missing tons of stuff. After the meeting, the form, the sheet.
Yeah,
Are
it's
you talking about the Excel sheet or the
Yes.
1-page sheet that Jen? Okay.
no, it's the Excel.
All
And
right.
it's, you know what it is? It's out in one of the, was it August? I'm trying to think of when I put it out. The last, I'll direct you to it, Mary, or I'll just shoot it. It's a huge
Yeah, it's
spreadsheet,
huge.
but I'll,
And yeah, I think it crashed. I lost a ton of stuff. So
it's out,
that would be
it's out,
great.
it's out on the Google. And I'll tell you which one. It's on the September 11th
Okay,
Google
Yep.
Drive
I'll look.
in there. Yeah. And
Chris, does
that's
this
got-
have the edits that I had? Yeah, okay, it does.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah, it's in an Excel format on September 11th. So
So, Chris, can we talk just a little bit about logistics here? So, Jen reaches
Yeah.
out to all the departments. She sends her version of what do you need.
right.
Do we know that each department has completed that yet?
I don't know.
So
Don't
that would
know.
be good to check if before we start scheduling these meetings.
Well, so
Right?
yeah, well, no, what I'm thinking, Ray, is I'm trying to get a baseline asset listing. And included in that baseline asset listing, I'm using again the term for project or planning or whatever type of, for instance, like the affordable housing, and this is probably, Clena's probably going to come across this because, I sit on the Affordable Housing Trust. They're looking for a housing production plan update. Not a hard asset, but it's going to cost 50 grand. Something that's got to be done every 3 years to be compliant with, hopefully be compliant with all the components of 40B. Now, whether it's going to be 50,000 every 3 years, whether we're going to do it every 3 years or not, that's just something that should be on there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to get now. Whether we're doing it this year, next year, that may or may not be available right now, but that's not what I'm just trying to say. Here's the baseline starting point. That's what I was working for.
Okay.
Okay.
We probably will come across the requests that they have for fiscal 2025, which is coming up at May's town meeting. Because she has requested that. I don't know that she has them all back yet.
Okay, so this is a useful conversation. So from your perspective, Chris, what you want out of this short-term exercise is to validate the capital asset spreadsheet against departmental expectations.
Correct.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
helpful. I wasn't looking at it that way, so that's helpful.
That's all I'm looking for here, because I don't expect that they will, they may have all their capital stuff ready for the spring, but again, I was figuring we'd tackle that closer to the end of the year when they, so that was not, I mean, we can certainly,
Yeah, this is
Go
a longer term look to create a whole plan.
Right.
Yeah.
right. And then hopefully within the next year, right, we can hand this thing off and not be the, custodians of the individual sheets.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Who would do that instead?
Leslie or somebody in her group,
Okay.
I assume.
One of the
Yeah, I don't
two,
know. And I think at one point when Nancy was around, she had floated Faye's name too, because Faye's really good with Excel. But I don't know, and I don't know that anybody's got the capacity. I know that conversations with Jennifer, she has said that she'd like to take it over. She wants
Okay.
somebody in her group to take it over. So, that's what I recall, but I'll confirm that with her too.
Yeah, Chris, have you had a conversation with the maintenance manager about the spreadsheet?
The maintenance manager, who's that?
Well, the new part-time.
Oh, no, the guy from Sterling? No, I have not. I mean, I just other than sitting with he and Pete and Anna and what's it? Is it Lauren Espy? At a meeting, and Jennifer as well, and kind of going through, and I have some updates to do to that sheet for library, but I'll ship that over to Pete too. But no, I have not sat with him specifically.
Yes, knowing some of the issues we've had, particularly with both the DPW and the fire department, coming up with an asset tagging system would be really nice. Because, on one thing, it's the 5100, the next sheet, it's the something loader, and then the next sheet, it's something else. And we usually get ourselves tied up in spaghetti knots trying to figure out what asset we're talking about.
Right. What truck and
Yeah,
so
exactly.
on and so forth.
So it might be a conversation worth having at some point, again, with Jennifer. Big companies, that's what they do. They have a tag on everything, so you know what asset you're talking about.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can track it and so forth. So and along those lines, Ray, do you have any interest in going to this thing Saturday or no? I mean, the annual town finance committee thing in Sharon.
I was still toying with it. It's a good drive, and I'm trying to decide for myself what tangible benefit do we get out of it. Are you planning it?
I am actually, because there is a section on capital, so I just wanted to see, maybe pick some brains just to see what some of these other towns are doing, because I haven't, and I think it's worth going just to get the information too. It's probably worth so I mean, nobody else has to go, but I was just throwing it out because I'm probably too late to.
Do we know how late it runs? Things going on Saturday. I got to schedule around.
I know there's a lunchtime, then there's, I think, one meeting after lunch or something, so it's probably going to be at 2:00.
Yeah, let me get back to you tomorrow, Chris.
All right. And yeah, whatever I get from that, I can scan in and load up, but that would right now. Thinking about, almost committed to doing it. How's that?
And Jennifer said she'd pay the freight from her budget somewhere.
She did, yeah. I haven't tapped her for it, but I don't know how we go about doing that, because I don't know what the deadline was for it. Because I'm sure we could be past the deadline, but I'll give her a call tomorrow, Ray, and I'll let you know.
Okay,
How's
thank
that?
you.
All right. Yeah, so that's and Mary, you're good. You have public safety.
I do. So I'm gonna look, I want to see the capital asset spreadsheet. I just want to make sure I'm looking for the right things.
Okay, all right.
And then we want to make sure the things that they have every 3 years, we want to discuss that, the things that they need replaced, the canisters and all those things. We want a
Yeah.
list of things that come up all the time.
Yeah, whatever we can schedule out. I mean, I think that spreadsheet carries it out 10 years. So
Okay.
if he can give you dates, expected dates, that's fine. I mean, as we've done before, we've had to slot them in sometimes a year early, sometimes a year later, whatever it might be. But again, the expectation, just so we can kind of get an idea as to what we're going to be up against.
The
Yeah,
spreadsheet set up, if you've got something that's got a 3-year lifetime, it'll
Right.
automatically pull it back in every 3 years.
Well,
Right.
like I said, my computer totally crashed and I have not, you're gonna just have to send me again, Chris. I'm sorry.
All right. Yeah.
Just-
No. So, can you go out and get on the Google
I
Drive?
can't, no, I can't.
Oh, you can't.
That's the problem. No,
Oh. All right.
okay.
I'll,
It's no biggie, Chris. I can just send it to her.
I'll email. Yeah. Okay. You want to just email? That's fine.
Thank you.
We can do that. Yeah. Sure thing. No problem. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
You'll get inundated now with emails, Mary.
That's okay. That's all
Be
right.
careful. Be careful what you wish for.
I want to make
But-
sure, yeah, I'm gonna start with him because the police chief, not always. It's more challenging.
Yeah. He's inventive. How's that? Inventive, but consistent, right?
Oh, he's consistent.
Yeah.
Hey, Mary, I just sent you a share link. If you don't get it, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good. Okay, anything else? So what I'll do is I'll make sure everybody gets the ADA to the best of my ability, that report. I'll check with Jennifer to make sure that there's nothing nothing we're missing on that front. And as far as, I guess if we can get this stuff back and maybe meet sometime in December, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to tie up everybody's November because I know there's a lot going on, but I think that should be okay, right? Does that work for pretty much everybody? I mean, like just thinking a Monday evening again or something. We'll try not to do. Yeah, we'll try not to do maybe early in September. Like, like the 25th is a Monday evening. I'll try not to do that to everybody. How's that? That's sure that would not work.
Your pal.
Yeah, but maybe the 4th or something like that. So that'll give us a solid month, unless we've got anything else.
Right, that hasn't come through.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll do it a different way then. I'll one way or another, I'll make sure you get it.
okay, thank you.
All right. What am I missing? Anything else? ADA, check with Jennifer, December
Yeah.
4th, next meeting. That sound good?
December 4. Okay, it's December 4. Okay. All right.
And in person or no preference,
Zoom.
right?
We can do in person, but I think just Zoom's convenient.
More convenient.
I
All right.
mean, after all, Mary's, you never know where Mary's gonna be. She'll be North Pole. Who knows?
All right, jeez.
That's my
Lou-
goal, to just keep moving, Pete.
Lewis and Clark and Foley there. Holy smokes.
Oh, we saw their spikes along the way. It was very interesting.
Jeez. Unbelievable. At least, yeah. You got home safely. That's the important thing.
We did. We get home safely.
That's good. That's good. So unless anybody's got
Yeah,
anything
we're gonna
else, we
have to
can,
hear some stories.
absolutely.
You were going to have that big social outing, Ray. So we're counting on you to organize that.
Yeah.
huh?
Well, the
Yeah, that-
chair has to approve the process, so.
I think I'll
And pay
do
for
I-
it, right? And pay
do
for
I-
it. Yeah.
Do I hear a motion to appoint
Aye.
Ray as the in charge of organizing the
Our
social
social
outing?
committee.
We
Yeah.
can't do that because we're gonna be
Oh.
defying the law or something,
No.
right? If we need to.
Unanimous. I'll put that
No,
in the minutes. Unanimous.
Put
Ray
that
is
put in a
appointed social chairman.
unanimous. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we don't discuss anything, Mary, we're fine.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah. Just have to
Okay.
do, yeah.
Yeah. Big-
So that's it. We can't collaborate.
All
We can
right.
just
Which is
discuss
fine.
the
Are we,
snow,
are
huh?
we adjourning here, Chris? Is that
Is
where
that,
we?
is that a motion that I heard,
I
Pete?
think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a motion, Pete.
Yeah, okay.
Do we have a
Okay.
30
second?
seconds it.
Second,
All right.
Okay. Any
right.
further discussion?
No, we'll be back on
Hearing
December 5th.
none. All right, Ray Burkhalter.
Aye.
How do you? All right, Clean Archibald.
Aye.
Yeah.
Great, Mary Foley,
aye.
and Pete Murphy,
Aye.
Chris Berglund. Aye.
All right. Nice
Great.
to see
All
you
right.
all.
See you
Thank
in a
you all
month.
very much.